Hey there, energy explorers. Welcome to another deep dive. Today we're cracking open Enphase Energy's latest earnings call to see
Mhm.
what's really happening in home energy.
It's a big one. This is like a sneak peek into the future of home energy.
For our listeners, if you're already living that clean energy life,
Yeah.
this is going to make a lot of sense to you. And if you're just trying to figure out what the heck is going on,
Right.
this is the episode for you.
Absolutely.
So Enphase Q3 2024, big picture, $380.9 million in revenue.
Big number.
That translates to 1.7 million microinverters shipped.
Wow.
So for anyone who's not familiar,
Yeah, let's break that down.
what the heck is a microinverter?
Yeah.
Basically, picture each solar panel on your roof having its own little mini brain.
Right. Instead of one big inverter for your whole system,
Exactly.
every single panel is doing its own thing, which makes things way more efficient.
Way more efficient.
Yeah, if one panel's having a bad day, the whole party doesn't stop.
It's like upgrading from single-core to multi-core processing, but for your house.
Exactly.
And it's not just microinverters. Enphase also shipped 172.9 megawatt hours of their IQ batteries.
Yeah, home energy storage is huge right now.
And that's enough to power a small town for like a whole day.
Yeah, definitely.
I think what's really interesting here is we see two very different stories playing out depending on where we're looking geographically.
Okay.
So Enphase is doing amazingly well in the US, 43% jump in revenue compared to last quarter.
Wow.
But in Europe, things are a little bit different. We're actually seeing about a 15% dip.
Interesting. So what's going on there?
Well, in the US, it's kind of the perfect storm right now. You've got lower interest rates making it easier to finance solar installations.
Oh, right.
You've got those federal tax incentives from the Inflation Reduction Act
Grading the deal.
making it even more attractive. And then on top of that, energy prices are still going up.
Right.
So for a lot of people, it's becoming a no-brainer.
It makes a lot of sense.
But in Europe, things are a little bit different. You know, they had that big energy crisis.
Right.
And it feels like that sense of urgency has maybe calmed down a little bit.
Things have stabilized.
And that's affecting how quickly people are adopting these new technologies.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that it's not just about the technology itself, but about all of these global factors.
It's really interesting how that stuff all ties together.
Totally.
But don't count Enphase out of the European market just yet. They're actually doubling down with some new product launches specifically designed for Europe.
Interesting. New product launches. Now, this is where I get excited.
I know, me too.
It sounds like they're not content with just being like the microinverter company.
Right.
They want to be the one-stop shop for your entire home energy ecosystem.
And I think that's really smart because it's not just about solar panels anymore,
Oh,
right?
it's so much bigger than that.
It's about how you store that energy, how you manage it, how it all works together.
It's a whole home energy experience.
Exactly. Okay, so we've got the solar panels. They're up on the roof making electricity. We've got the batteries storing it like squirrels with nuts.
Right.
But something's missing.
What's that?
Those electric vehicles.
Oh, yeah, the electric car. It's like the missing piece of the puzzle for a lot of people.
Because you can go solar, feel good about it.
Right.
But you're still plugging into the grid to juice up your car.
Yeah, you're still kind of tethered.
Exactly. But Enphase, they get it.
They do.
They're rolling out this new IQ EV charger.
Okay.
It's not just some random charger, though. It's all hooked into their system, right?
Oh, interesting.
So your solar panels are cranking, batteries full.
Yeah,
That extra energy goes straight to your car.
you're charging your car with sunshine.
It's pretty cool, but
Well,
all
yeah,
this tech, that can be intimidating, you know?
It can be a lot.
Like, how easy is it really for the average person to manage all this stuff?
That's the thing. All this has got to be easy to use, right?
It's gotta be. Or what's the point? And this is where I think Enphase really stands out.
Okay, how so?
They get that it's not just about the hardware, those panels and batteries.
Right.
It's the software that ties it all together.
The software, okay, now we're talking.
So tell me, what's so special about this software?
Well, think of it like, imagine there's a conductor for your home energy.
Okay.
That's Enphase's software. It's always watching your energy production, how much you're using, even the price of electricity from the grid.
It's kind of creepy how smart it is.
It's wild, right?
Yeah.
And it's using all that data to make decisions for you. Like if it knows electricity is super expensive at a certain time of day,
Yeah.
it'll switch you over to battery power automatically so you don't have to even think about it.
That's awesome. But you mentioned AI earlier.
Oh, yeah,
Artificial intelligence, that's got to factor into this somehow.
it does. That's where it gets really wild. Enphase is already building AI into the software so it learns your habit.
Learns your habit.
Yeah, like let's say you're someone who loves a high shower first thing in the morning.
Who doesn't?
Right. Well, Enphase's system can learn that and make sure your water heater is already full of hot water, heated by the sun before you even wake up.
Okay, that's impressive.
No more cold showers.
So we're talking convenience, but this is bigger than that, right? This changes how the whole grid works.
Absolutely. It's like what we were talking about with virtual power plants.
It's like your house becomes a mini power station.
Right. You're not just using energy, you're part of the grid now.
And Enphase's software makes it happen. It can talk to the utility company.
Right. And if the grid needs a little extra juice, your battery can send some back.
And sometimes you even get paid for it.
It's a win-win.
So that's for us, the homeowners. But what does this all mean for the big utility companies? Are they going to survive this? That's the big question, isn't it?
It is. Are the utility companies doomed?
Are we all going to be off the grid in 5 years?
Right. It's tempting to think that way, but I think that
Yeah.
reality is more interesting. It's easy to see it as us versus them.
Right, the little guy and the big bad corporation.
Right. But really, it's all about finding a new way for all this to work together.
So the grid's not going away anytime soon.
I don't think so. It's more like, how do we take all these homes with solar and batteries
Yeah.
and make them part of the solution?
Okay.
And that's where it gets exciting. Because
Yeah.
imagine a world where your neighborhood is basically its own little power grid,
Wow.
sharing energy with each other, relying less on those big power plants.
That'd be something else.
It would, and Enphase is right in the middle of all that. They're making it easier for homeowners to be a part of that future.
It's really cool to see.
It is. It feels like we're on the edge of a real energy revolution.
And it all starts at home.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up here, what's the one thing you want our listeners to remember from all of this?
I'd say this whole future of energy, it's not some far-off thing.
Yeah.
It's happening now in our homes, in our communities. It's up to all of us to make it happen.
So true. Well said. So to everyone listening, think about your own energy choices. Could you do more? Could you be a part of this?
It's an exciting time.
It really is. And on that note, this has been another awesome deep dive.
Totally.
Catch you all next time.